Instagram. I'm on a ferry in Comox. Where the heck is Comox? I have no idea. It's British Columbia. Check this out. And since ferries are boring, I thought I'd answer some questions for you guys. You got any Q&A stuff? I'm happy to share some knowledge. Check it out. I actually have sunglasses with me. These are the True Dark. They block 40% of the indoor light, but they're photo gray. So when I'm out paddleboarding or jet skiing or something, I don't get too much light, because you do want to protect your eyes, but you want to get enough sunshine in your eyes, which I'm not wearing them now, even though I'm outside. Marianne, it is a beautiful day. Lab 2K just got off that ferry to Victoria. All right, Regina, what lotion should you use? Please give you a recommendation for some things to use. Anything mineral based, and that's the kicker. Oh man, why are they doing that? So anything mineral based is going to be what you want to do. You look at the base it's in. Things like coconut is oftentimes good if you don't mind smelling like a coconut. You may find some waterproof mineral based brands. I know my buddies over at Alatura are working on a really good one, but I don't think it's out yet. So that's probably where I'll end up. But right now I just go to Whole Foods or somewhere and I pick one that's all mineral based. Zinc and titanium both work. Micronized looks prettier, but may have some problems because the small molecules can get into your cells, but probably not that big of a deal. Just watch out for fragrance, which messes with your hormones and things like that. Stride Mike, thoughts on alpha GPC? This is a cognitive enhancer, a nootropic. Guys, we're taking off now. Look at that. There we go. So it's a it's a cognitive enhancer, and it raises levels of choline in the brain higher than you'll get from CDP choline, which is what I use when I formulate nootropics. Alpha GPC, because that's pretty good, you can say, oh, that's great. Unfortunately, there's some evidence that it probably affects some cell membranes in a way that you don't want it to do. So would I take alpha GPC? Sometimes, yeah. Would I want to take high doses regularly? Absolutely not. Would I take CDP choline regularly? Yes, I would. And most supplements you'll find that are around cognitive enhancement are all knockoffs of stuff from the 80s. They prevent your ability to break down choline, and they add choline donors. If you get jaw tension, muscle cramps, headaches, well, there you go. Too much acetylcholine. That's what pesticides do to make bugs twitch when you spray them with bug spray. Acetylcholine overload. So you don't always need more acetylcholine, and watch for that membrane health. That's at the base of the Bulletproof diet. Is this a beautiful day or what? Just look at this. Amazing nature here. Spent a few days out in Desolation Town. All right. Let's see here. Got someone from Argentina. Got the lotion question. Quick basic COVID stack. You need about 2/3 propaganda, maybe 20% bad data that supports a business model, and then you must suppress anything that you can buy today that actually works so that you can launch a new business on it. It's part of the pandemic business model. It works really well. The other thing though, if I was going to expose myself to COVID, which I don't want to get, which is real, I would be looking at ivermectin, quercetin, C, zinc, and I'd look at a stack of herbs that reduces inflammatory cytokines. And there's a bunch of herbs that do that. There's one called stefania root that's particularly powerful for that. And I'm forgetting the name of it off the top of my head. There's a couple of them I've recommended in the past that reduce the odds of getting a respiratory infection by 20% for all respiratory infections. And it's crap. I've written about it. I'm just not coming to me right now. I was up late last night with Paul Stamets at his house. Paul Stamets, the mushroom god. That guy's so cool, and his house is amazing out on Cortez Island. All right. Chic Bones Clothing. Number one thing I'd tell someone to do to improve their health depends on how much work you're willing to do. Learn how to sleep would be really cheap and easy. But you know what I'd really like to see you do is don't eat seed oils at all. The omega-6 oils, those things are just bad for you. You don't want to do that. They're just bad. So if you cut those out of your diet, eat some more grass-fed, you'll change everything. Guys, I hope my sound quality is okay. Get a little bit of wind and some engine noise. Doing my best here, but hey, you're getting some free time with me, and look at this view. All right. And I've got a pretty strong strong signal still. Do I know Gabe on Clubhouse? I don't know which Gabe that is. I know a lot of people. 44-hour fast right now, says Tyler. Thank you. No hunger, but a little weak. You work out a lot. How can you fast for days and still work out hard? Well, Tyler, that's why I wrote Fast This Way. It's like a longer term fast is generally a spiritual fast. You're supposed to rest during longer fasts, not work hard every day. What you'll find is that your cortisol is probably really elevated by doing that. So you want to swap out the hard lifting on a multi-day fast for something that's a little bit more like a restorative yoga and walking in the forest. I know it's hard to do when it feels good to lift heavy, but you're on a fast for a different purpose. It's possible to burn the candle at both ends and in the middle. God knows I'm a pro at that. I spent my 20s and 30s doing that. Not worth it. Lab 2K, upgraded labs are amazing in Victoria, worth the trip. Thank you. Just opened it. Upgrade Labs is franchising. In fact, our franchise doc should be out this week. So I'm counting on having 100 upgrade labs all across the US and Canada over the next 18 months. So I'm bringing this biohacking to you guys. I want everything that I do to become available for all of us. There's no reason you should have to go buy $500,000 worth of gear in order to recover faster. You should be able to use it in your community because it's actually more effective than a lot of the drugs you might take. And it takes a lot less time than you might think. All right. Top 3 anti-aging supplements from Sachitanandalia. I think I said that right. What would those be? Top 3. Oh, you guys are gonna love this. Coffee. Truly, actually. If you look at the studies on coffee, it's ridiculous. Coffee is way better than kale. I would be looking at, only 3. Probably fish oil and activated charcoal, to be honest. Activated charcoal is correlated with a 15% increase in lifespan, actually. I wrote about that in my life extension book, which was called Superhuman. And that was pretty good stuff on that. That's just by reducing the bad stuff gut bacteria do to you. Does my sound okay? It's getting really, really loud with the wind, but if you guys are okay with it, I'm okay with it. Dylan, what do I do when I feel numb or empty? It's been a while, like a long while. So numbness, we'll switch to personal development stuff for a minute here. Numbness is something we do a lot at 40 Years of Zen, which is my neuroscience company. And in the hierarchy of emotions, numbness is the lowest level, the lowest vibration of the states. Numbness hides sadness, which hides anger, which hides fear, which hides happiness. So basically, when you're feeling numb, when you're feeling apathy, when you're feeling empty, you gotta look for what you're actually sad about, and that unlocks the next step of that. It's easier with neurofeedback or EMDR, but that's kind of how it works. All right. I'm not hearing anything bad about the sound, so I'll keep going for you guys. All right, Hoban. Hey, there's Mike Hoban, I think. How to calm mast cell activation from Nat. So Nat, for everyone, people with long COVID have mast cell activation. It's a big deal. If I was going to be getting a certain kind of injection that is very popular and well marketed these days, and by the way, I'm vicarious, so who knows, I might get it when the real data is published and all that. I would be looking at certainly taking ivermectin, Pepsid, and quercetin before and after. Chris says, why do I look so old? Well, Chris, one question that I'd like to ask you is, why do you look so dumb? Because it feels like I can take it once, but you're just fucked. All right, just kidding. That was mean. I apologize. That was my inner child speaking to you. Why do I look so old? I don't know. Because I'm in bright sunlight? Because I'm not using a filter? I don't know. But I feel your pain, brother. I feel your pain. Molecular hydrogen versus ozone? You can do both. Ozone is good for you. Let's see, thoughts on CBD, CBG? If it works for you, do it. If it doesn't work for you, that's okay. 1,100 different endocannabinoid receptors that you can have. God, it's so loud here. I'm sheltering the mic. I love it that you can still hear me. You guys see all that cool whatever's going on around me? Okay. Oral supplements or IV for general adults. You know, oral is just fine for stuff like that. If you want IV occasionally, it's a good idea. Hey, there's a whale out there, I think. Yeah. I don't think I can show you guys because it's too far out. is what they used to knock people out in movies. That means that you have dirty water and they're adding chlorine to it. What you got to do to fix that is a charcoal filter. If you don't do that, you're gonna feel like shit. Even in your shower, you're gonna feel like shit. See, aren't these glasses cool? Now I can see you. Well, you can't see me, but all right. Best supplements for hangovers: activated charcoal and glutathione. It's getting so loud. I can't believe you guys are still cool with the sound. I'm gonna scroll down some more to get some more questions for you. Thoughts on L-tyrosine? If you're going to take L-tyrosine to make your energy levels go higher and your thyroid higher, N-acetyl L-tyrosine is way better. All right, what would I take to counter the consequences of a bad COVID vaccine? I just covered that a bit earlier. Flaxseed for omega-3 from Badora. Don't do that. The reason is that your flaxseed oil is going to convert at a ratio of 45:1 inside your body, if your body can even convert it. So that's bad news. So plant-based omega-3s, unless they're from marine algae, are just a bad idea. You don't want to do that. Big guy, I look like Phil Nickerson. I don't even know who Phil Nickerson is. That's because I'm a nerd. I'm not a PubMed, I don't know who he is. Alright. How long is mTOR activated after eating meat? You know, that is a badass question right here. I don't know the half-life of mTOR, and I don't think it matters whether it's from insulin or from meat. There's a degradation speed of it. I just don't know what it is. All right, you got me curious now. All right. How concerned should you be about oxalates? You cook broccoli, avoid kale and spinach. You know what? Different people have different gut bacteria. Some people handle oxalates way better than others. I believe you should have a moderate oxalate diet. I think raw spinach and raw kale are stupid. If you eat cooked spinach, it's probably still stupid unless you make it the way your grandmother did with milk, which contains calcium, which neutralizes the oxalic acid, turns it into crystals, and you'll probably be okay then. But it's not a particularly healthy food. So from a longevity perspective, moderate oxalates, you'll be fine. But berries are high in oxalates, right? So just be aware of them. Coffee has some oxalates. You don't have to avoid it. Just don't spike it really greatly and you'll be fine. You should be fine with broccoli. If you eat cooked broccoli, eat your cooked broccoli with either a piece of radish like we do at the Upgrade Cafe, or a little, just one bite of raw broccoli to have the enzymes to turn on the sulforaphane. All right. My signal's getting weaker and the wind is getting louder. I'm going to show you guys this view one more time and let's check it out. In fact, I'm going to turn the camera around. Alright, this is what I'm looking at right now. A reminder for you guys. If you go to ig-dave-asprey.com/uncensored, that is my email list. And given that I'm willing to say all sorts of interesting stuff on here, it's a good idea to be on my email list because you never know what's going to happen next. dave-asprey.com/uncensored. I will see you all later, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of this ride. Bye.